You know, as we're merging on to a fast-paced lane here at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it makes me think about the fact that we're merging into a new year. You know, there's so many things this new year holds for us. You know, you think about a lifetime, you know, what a lifetime holds. Some are short, some are a little bit longer. But even what a decade holds, you know, for some of you guys, you think about this, in this decade of 2000 to 2010, you know, some of you are going to go from being in high school to being married and having an education and having a real job. You know, but here we are on the January 4th, 2006, and looking out across this year. Now, no doubt, before very long, it'll be December 31st, and we'll be rolling over to 2007. But the potential this year holds. It's pretty awesome to think about it. You know, potential, really is a word that comes from the Latin language, and I don't do a very good job, most of you know, pronouncing the English language, but potentialis, which means to go on to mean power, and potent, to be able to do. And you know, when I think about that, the potential this year, we look at the power to be able to do something, to have an opportunity to do something for God. It's just a pretty awesome thought, I think. You know, at the age 46, you know, for me, you know, you hear this as you get older, that time flies faster, and the fact that you let a year get by, and you know, but we don't have to do that. We don't have to let a year get away from us. We can really try to wring out everything that year has, and having potential allows us to connect really with what God has in store for us. See, God looks at our life, and it's a pretty awesome thing. He looks at our life with potential. You know, the power to be able to do something. You know, I always love sports, you know, looking at baseball players or basketball players and go, what's the potential? Look at a little kid and see how they throw it or shoot it and go, you know, they have potential, the power to be able to play this game. You know, when we look at leaders, I like to look at, you know, I watch for leaders all the time, whether it's adults or teenagers, and look at them and watch how they interact and the potential they have. In houses, I like looking at houses and redoing houses, and I know some of you guys look at girls or look at or vice versa, girls look at guys, and you know, I look at cars even. You know, I grew up in the car business, and most of you know the story of me and Jam in the 1985 Corvette. I looked at the potential, one, of dating Jam, but the other one's the potential of that car to top out at 162 miles an hour. And when I showed it to her, tried to sell it to her, I showed her the potential that car had. So really, that's you know, that's the thing that God wants from us, is to be able to wring out the power and the ability to live everything He's asked us to do. Asked me the other day, and I was taking her to school. She said, "Dad, what's better, growing up in the country or growing up in the city?" And you know, for me, I only have one thing to compare it to, because I only grew up in the country till I was a young man, but I was raising my kids here in the city, so I kind of see a little of both. But for me, growing up in the country was a pretty awesome thing. You know, when you step out your back door and there's thousands and thousands of acres to go, whether it's from riding your bikes as a little kid or hunting or whatever it was a pretty awesome thing. You know, I always love going back there now, even especially certain times of the year, the fall, and seeing the leaves change in those forests that I was talking about there in Arkansas. Of course, I love going back and seeing my family, and the clear skies at night and all the stars and the fresh air. But one of the things I love is the trees. The trees are just an awesome thing. All kinds of colors there, and all kinds of different types of trees. You know, the tree has always intrigued me because the potential a tree has, and different kind of trees, the potential they have. You know, a tree, you can use it for firewood, or you can use it for the floor you walk on in your home, or you can use it to build that home, or build a church. You can use it to write a peace treaty, use the paper for a peace treaty, which can change the world, or unfortunately use it for toilet paper, so it's pretty extreme. But you can use it as a baseball bat to hit the winning home run in the World Series, or as a pencil take that pencil and put it in your hand, the wood pencil, and write a note to someone to change their life. Trees are a pretty amazing thing that God created. They have tremendous potential, the power to be able to make a difference. You look at the life of Jesus and you go, okay, did he fulfill his potential? I think we could say that's a big old fat yes. You know, when he came, he said he came to seek and save those who are lost. Well, that's us. And thank goodness he did that. But he said, I came to do the will of the Father. And I think if we look at his life, he fulfilled the potential, that power to be able. But one of the things he also did was he had the ability to look at other people and see the potential in their life. You know, as he looked at the disciples, you know, a lot of people would have said, you know, they were purposeless or powerless or pathetic or punks. Now, I'm not sure they use the term punk, but they could have called them a lot of things. But one thing's for sure, potential would not have been the term they would have thought of when they looked at these guys' life. But Jesus saw potential in them, saw so much potential in them. He believed they could change the world, change history. As a matter of fact, they did that. And I'm so glad in my own life that Jesus didn't just see me the way I was, but he saw me the way I could be, the potential I had, the power to be able to make a difference. It's a pretty awesome thought. You know, he does that with all of us. Jesus, you know, looks at each one of us that way. And no doubt he's probably stirring something in you this year, definitely stirring things in me and saying, you have the potential to make an impact for the kingdom. You know, a few years ago I had an opportunity to go to the Redwood Forest. And at the Redwood Forest, if you've ever been there, you know, there's mighty trees. They're unbelievable. You can drive a car through them. I mean, it's unbelievable what those trees are. But the thing that amazed me about the redwood tree was the fact of how much life, how much potential that tree has even after it's died. There's a sign, I believe, that it says, and I may be off a little bit, but there was a tree that where we were looking at with my family, we were looking at this tree and it had been struck by lightning, I think maybe years and years ago. But out of that tree, I think it was 9 other trees were birthed out of that one tree who had died. I think that is an unbelievable thing to think that something dies and when it's dead it gives birth. But you know what? That's what Christians are. We have the potential, even whether we live to be 17 or 77, not only in the life we live here, but even in our death, we have the opportunity to give birth, to give life. And Lord, I thank the Lord that he's made us that way. And it's pretty awesome to think of the redwood tree. And you know, the redwood tree, they say the reason it grows so tall is because it's seeking the light. No doubt, there's a spiritual message there for us. If we want to grow mighty, and even in our death, we give life. It is in seeking the light. So like the mighty redwood tree, may you be seekers of light this year, realizing your full potential. And as 2005 now is dead, out of 2005, may there become life for what God has given you from 2005 to 2006, the potential be realized. We won't look back a year from now and ask the question, how did it get away from us? We will know that we've wrung every bit out of this year. We prosper.